Hey, you guys, thank you for tuning in with Coach Kizzy at Majestic Life Solutions. My journey has its ups and downs and crown and royal moments. Um, the topic is not affirmations right now. I'm going to get in the shower and then we're going to do our affirmations, okay? But I wanted to actually talk to the chief, the Dallas Police Department chief, because I know that Dallas they just sworn him in or whatever. They got a new chief here in Dallas, right? So I was trying to look for the name of the man because if he's a God fearing gentleman, he wouldn't fall in the traps of these people that are operating in demon time. In demon time, I'm trying to warn this this man for real. And I might be laughing, but I'm just being real. I'm trying to warn him because I feel like a person that is stuck on the same thing. They smoke all kinds of drugs. They smoke crack. They smoke drugs. They do drugs. They under the influence. So when you're under the influence, you get really, really delusional. You have a tweak, a geek, or whatever you want to call it. It's a side effect of thinking something that is not is delusional. It's thinking something and it don't appear to be accurate. So that's what delusional is, and when you under the influence of all these type of drugs and you don't know which drug are you taking, that's what it does to you. You don't want your body to rely on the drug, because if your body relies on the drug, that means you actually need that drug. You are addicted, so you need to start being aware of, I do have an addiction. So when you start acknowledging that you have an addiction, everything will change in your life, and you need to give yourself time to rest, because a body itself need rest. So when you under the influence of doing drugs, let me tell you, it puts you in when you're doing drugs, it mess up your immune system. You know, it mess up your immune system, or with your immune system, it's easily to catch a STD, anything like that, a STD, HIV. It's easy for you to catch that because I don't know, I haven't did my research on it, that part right there, but I know it's easily for you to catch it because it's messing with your immune system. You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, it's better to stay off of drugs. So if anyone's doing drugs and you know that you have an addiction, you have to actually knowledge that you have an addiction, because I for the longest when I was doing drugs, I said I didn't have an addiction. But when I came to realization and I came to my senses, when I came to my senses and I said, you know what, I did have a addiction, because you have to acknowledge that you do have an addiction to even start your journey of recovery. So when you start your journey of recovery, you have to fight hard and ask God to give you the strength that you need to overcome that fear of getting off of that drug. Because if you don't ask God to lead you in the path that you need, you're gonna end up relapsing. You're gonna relapse. You're gonna say, okay, well, I do want to get off these drugs, but you're gonna relapse because you don't have the willpower of the creator to ask him for the strength and take and get that out. Well, get that state of mind of, I need this drug, or I want to do this drug, or having a craving for the drug. So when you start to realize that I don't want to be in that same spot anymore. I want to grow in life, because you can't grow in life under the influence of a substance. You understand? So you can't not grow in life under a substance abuse. When especially you're abusing it. When you do it every day, it's abusing. So, well, any drug that you do and it's not legal, you're abusing it. And we having a person that's been on drugs for a long time, like I myself, and to be a recovering addict. Listen, to be a recovering addict, I have learned so much about it's better to live your life in a sober round on this earthly land, because you have more benefits that will come into your life off of drugs. So when a person see that a person is on drugs, they will feel they will already judge you, as in that drug is controlling your whole atmosphere. So you have to understand that, okay, well, I'm gonna try hard to actually give it up. Because once upon a time in your life, if you've been doing it for so many years, it gets old. It gets old. You want to grow in life. So you cannot grow in life under the influence of an addiction of drugs. So me, I'm 43 years old now. I started doing drugs at the age of 21. And I experienced a lot of drugs. I experienced a lot of drugs. And I had my personal drug that I did. And it was a personal drug because I did it every day. And I didn't realize that I had an addiction until when? When I did it all the time. It's not funny, but I knew that I had an addiction. But you know what? I overcame that challenge in my life. When I overcame that challenge in my life, that was a challenge. That was a struggle to actually say I quit. It was a challenge, but it was the best decision that I ever made in my life. And I would never ever go back there. And I can say never because I'm gonna ask God to take that feelings, take that desire that I have had in that drug away from the taste buds of my mouth. So you have to get the strength from the Most High God to understand that if you want to walk this earthly land in purpose, if you want to walk this earthly land and succeed in something in your life, then do you know when a person starts seeing you as a drug addict, they don't want to deal with you. They don't want to deal with you because the simple fact, a drug can control everything that you do. You can make wrong mistakes under the influence. You can make wrong decision. It'll be once they hold on. Let me see how I want to put it. It's it's not a it's not it's you would make just say it like that. You would make wrong choices. It can be the wrong choice that you make, and you think that is the right choice, but it don't be the right choice because you under the influence of um, a substance abuse, a substance period. So this is like if just say for instance, I'm gonna give you some kind of let me cut this fan off. I'm not that hot. Okay. So I'm gonna give you an example. Just say for instance, you at a club and you having a good time. You're having a good time, a very good time. You under the influence of a drug. You're at a club. You're under the influence. And somebody come up and talk to you. You know they gonna look good to you. Let me tell you, I've been there. They're gonna look very good to you. You're gonna be like, okay, you can go home with me. And just giving you an example of my life, my life, and the things that people do under the influence. And that person gonna look very, very nice to you. Cause I've been there and I did that. And I've been at the club and I done took this guy home and I woke up and not even woke up and I was like, who are you? They looked good that night. But when the morning came and you're not under their influence anymore, who is that person laying beside you? You don't know. You don't know. That is wrong decision making. That's wrong decision making. And that's just like if you go to the club and you get drunk. When you get drunk, that person look really tasty. I'm just gonna say it like that, really tasty. Look really good, like you want to get them in the bed. But it's the demon that's in that alcohol. That's that demon that's in that drug. that's telling you that person looks very, very nice and they need to be in your bed. You want to take them home. So I took them home. And you know what? I didn't even know his name. I didn't know his name. I can't even tell you his name. And that's sad. Do you know? It's sad, but at the end of the day, you have to acknowledge the things that you have done in your life. Those are challenges where you say that I would never do that again. I don't want to make that mistake. You just can't bring anybody into your bedroom. You can't bring anybody to your house. So you have to make wise choices in life. When you start making wise choices in life, you become a better version of yourself. Because you is the co-creator. You are the decision maker as a grown adult. You are the person that make your own choices. You the person that make the choice of what I want to do out of life. When I woke up, I put that person out, and that was so wrong. But they looked good to me that night. They looked so good. I don't even remember. I just know. I remember. I remember that in the club, I was kissing them. I was kissing them in the club. We were just kissing away. And when I woke up, I looked on the side of me and asked them, "How you get in my bed?" And that's sad to say, right? That's sad to say. So you take your experiences in life and you learn from them. They are lessons. So when you know that you have a lesson right in front of you and you make that wrong decision, you learn from that. You learn from that. And you move forward in life and say, you know what? I'm not going to make that choice anymore. I want to become a better version of myself. I want to embrace who I truly am because I'm lost in the world. You have to acknowledge that you're lost. I was lost. I was lost. Like I told you once before, when my mom died, I was looking for love. And I couldn't find love because it was steady exiting out my life. And we do that as humankind. We look for love, but we shouldn't have to look for it when it's right there for us. It's right there for us, but we don't wait on it and try to fix and heal ourselves before we go looking because we feel that we need it at that time. But sometimes you have to become an adult and say, you know what? I don't really need that love that I'm really searching for. Because that love that you're searching for is a want. It's not a need. A need is something that God is going to send you for the rest of your life. That's a need. So when we start understanding that we can attract something great in our life, we have to embrace who we truly are and get to the point where we can say, I love myself. I love myself. And I'm not going to let nobody condemn me. When you start getting to that point, you'll start understanding life. You'll start walking with your head up, your chest out, and you'll walk down that line. You'll walk down that line, and you know what you'll say to yourself? I'm unfazable. I'm untouchable. You should always think highly of yourself. You should always want to be a person of I need me. Listen when I say it again. You should always want to be the person that say, I need me. I matter. I am somebody. I do deserve the right person to enter into my life and not the wrong person. Because the wrong person is that person's going to be there for just a spell. Just a spell. And the spell is just for a little while. and then they gone, and there you some more trauma. So if you wait, God's timing is the best timing. So don't ever think that you're not worthy of love. You're just looking in the wrong places. And when you say when people say you're looking in the wrong places, you know my definition of looking in the wrong places. That means that person is not for you because you look for it. You went searching for it because you felt like you needed somebody at that moment. And you know that, and that's real life. And do you understand? Let me get this clear too. So when you in heat of the moment, listen, when you in heat of the moment, you go searching, you go looking for that desire because you're in heat of the moment. And now that is your mate. That's your mate now because you went searching for a mate. Now you got somebody that's cool for about 6 months. Got somebody cool about 6 months. And then they're going to traumatize you. They're going to make you feel less than yourself. They're not going to put value into you because you search for it. One thing that I understood about searching, I could never find love by searching. I had to embrace who I truly was. And when you start figuring out, when you start knowing your self worth, then you will be able to love a person unconditionally. And that person will be able to love you unconditionally when that person finds you somehow. You might walk in the grocery store. You might walk in the grocery store and that right person, just by the conversation, you have to know you have to use your discernment on conversation also. When I say use your discernment, that means you'll know a person right then and there if you really listen to the conversation. That's why that quote on what my affirmation says: be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. So when you start doing those, when you start putting that, applying that to your life, when you start applying it to your life, because a conversation, you can tell a person a whole world by a conversation. I can. I can actually tell you your whole life by your conversation. I know that you're here for a moment, a season, or you're gonna be here for a lifetime. But don't go searching. So when you start listening to the conversation that people are having, you will know if that's that person for you. You will know that this is the person that I've been praying for. Because it'll be a gut feeling in the inside of you. It'll be a gut feeling that's in the inside of you that both of y'all gonna start feeling the same way. And you know what? What that person gonna tell you, you know how, just say for instance, if you like me, I always seem like to be the one to say, baby, I love you. Baby, I love you. And if you a person like that, then don't tell nobody don't say it, because you know what? If you say that, you're gonna give them the heads up of, oh, I can control their whole atmosphere. But if you got somebody that come in and they say they love you first, and y'all soul is really connecting. That's why some things is better left unsaid when you first meet somebody. You have to as a humankind, when y'all getting to know one another, you want to know everything about that person, especially before you lay in the bed. Before you lay in the bed, because you never know. You would never know if that person has HIV. You would never know if that person has gonorrhea. You would never know if that person has chlamydia. You would never know if that person has herpes. You would never know because a lot of people don't do research on that part, period, no more. They don't do that. They don't research that person. You know, you just get in the bed. If you meet somebody at the club and they just there, you meet a person at a club and you'd be like, okay, I'm gonna lay down with this person. That person might touch you in that hot spot and they got it. They got all your goods, but you didn't do your research on that person. Didn't know if that person had HIV or not because you searched for something in your life because you couldn't wait on God's timing to let the real person enter into your life. So if you start understanding that I need to wait, I want to work on myself and I can be able to love an individual unconditionally. So when two people or you don't even if you healing yourself and that person is basically doing the same thing, healing themselves also. You don't have to fully complete the healing process. You don't have to complete the healing process. Y'all can actually come back, like if you're inflamed, you can actually come back in union with that because you know what? Y'all gonna embrace each other healing. Y'all both gonna give each other opportunity to heal. But I want you to wait on love because if you don't wait on love, you see what's going on around this world right now. Everybody catching HIV. Everybody is catching HIV because don't nobody want to do no research or history on the person. Everybody is catching HIV, and that's the God's honest truth. Everybody is catching HIV, and don't you know that it's when you know that it's the end of the world, it's hurricanes. Hurricanes. What's the other something famine and disease, right? I'm trying to think of the other one. Hurricane. It's the other storm. You know, come on. Earthquake. Earthquakes, hurricanes, famine, and disease. That means we living in revelation. That means the world is almost at the end because everybody's catching a disease. It seems like everybody's catching a disease. But then when you catch that disease, everybody want to blame. Y'all didn't do your research on that person that you lay down with. That's just like if you having group sex. If you having group sex, who who brought a test? Do you actually know if that test real? No. You just want to satisfy your desire at the time. You ain't did no research on nothing that you had going on. You just want to have sex. Sometimes it's best to set your mind to I just don't really need sex. I want somebody to love me. And you know, a lot of people I'm just gonna be real with you. And I know a lot of women that be like, I'm not supposed to be with him. His stuff little. And that's why a lot of people have sex before marriage. You understand? Because they want to know if the sex good. I'm not supposed to marry nobody and they sex not good. But if you enjoy that person and y'all souls connect, they're gonna make you feel like everything you desire. Because this is your kingdom partner. It's not you wouldn't even worry about the sides. You wouldn't worry about, oh, this I don't know about the whatever the other stuff. Coochie. I say this is stupid. Coochie. I don't know about it, but people say it's different and different like this or whatever. But about that. You will have to go from bed to bed because you waited on your kingdom partner. And that is the person that you did. That's the person you prayed for. When you pray for what you want your life to look like with a partner, God will give you everything that you need. Not what you want. Because what you want is good sex. Good sex. And you haven't even did no research on that person. Or you want to just be in a relationship because you feel lonely. And everybody know that you always have somebody, oh, that person right there, they single. So you're gonna be like, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna get me somebody. I'm gonna find me somebody because ain't nobody gonna be talking about me. You know, I used to be like that. Oh, he's still single. Everybody in a relationship, but oh, here go, look, he is. He's not in a relationship. So I go find somebody to be in a relationship with. Find somebody to be in a relationship with. But when you come to the point of time in your life where you know you deserve more, you will act like it. You will have self control. Listen, say it again. You will have self control over the sex desire, that sex addiction. Say it like that, sex addiction. You will have mind control over that sex addiction because you done put more into yourself than worrying about a sex addiction that you know you have. I ain't never had a sex addiction. I like this sex, but I ain't never had an addiction over sex. It's a difference, you know. But wait on that person to enter into your life. As long as you pray for what you want, God will send it to you. God will send it to you. And all that. Oh, I got a homeboy over here. Girl, I'm gonna hook you up with my homeboy. Girl, he cute, but you know. And once you get hooked up with that person, your homegirl gonna hook you up with this dude. Cause she done already had him. She done already had him. So that's why she know he's a good dude. Cause she done already had him. She done laid with him before. She done laid with him. And that's the God's honest truth. Cause she done laid with him before. But she wanna hook you up. And you know nothing about him. Sometimes your friends set you up for failure. You got to understand that too. Cause once a person start being jealous or envious of you, they will set you up with a demon. Come to realization, and say, you know what? I'm supposed to put more into myself because I love myself just that much. And wait on a partner to come into your life instead of searching. Because when you search, you're going to search for something that you're going to find and it's going to change your whole life. You see what we're going through right now? Do you see what we're going through right now? Somebody's whole life going to change over HIV. Stop. I didn't know you were there. Somebody's whole life has changed over HIV. Let's speak big facts. Somebody's whole life has changed over HIV. When I say if you're a type of person that, oh, and I have somebody that say, I have somebody that I know say that they are allergic to condoms. You're a lie. You just don't like the way them. Say that. And if you know that you're sexually active, start getting tested. Start knowing your status and know the person that you lay down with. One night stands doesn't work anymore. Listen to what I tell you. One night stands doesn't work anymore. It doesn't. Group sex doesn't work anymore. So you got to understand your actions of what actions you're taking in life because it don't work. You have to be the co-creator of your decision making. Okay?